A very warm welcome from my side. I'm Marina Cook from the Eloy team, and I will be moderating the session tonight on the topic traveling and traveling connects. So we will have a little presentations about last travels of our participants. We will hear some songs, but we will also discuss a little bit about how and what we can do to make good traveling. For example, regarding the topic of sustainability and so on, what we need to do and how we can also plan a trip where we want to show you how to do this via our platform Vima Danube. So in the beginning, I want to introduce Ivanka. She's from Karlovo and she will in Bulgaria, and she will sing a song in English called White Silence. Ivanka, welcome and thank you. Maybe you can just shortly say what the song is about, and Pari, just shortly, can you have Nelly out of the translator channel so she can translate?
Sure.
Това е пак за пътуването.
Welcome, Ivanka.
Тоест на английски да им преведа за какво става въпрос. Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Ами аз освен да кажа на
Yes.
Okay, да, казвай.
Текст е късен гларус над нас прелетя. Бързи
Да, те
спомени,
ще го видят
мрака.
този текст.
Да.
Ако можеш нещо за самата песен да кажеш.
Ами песента е на Борис Карадимчев, а се изпълнява от Георги Минчев, който беше такъв голям изпълнител в миналото, и ние с удоволствие изпълняваме, и даже тази нощ се върнах с моето трио от концерт, който изнесохме в град Враца във връзка с техен национален фестивал. Ние бяхме гости там и участвахме в програма. Финала, докато заседава журито, ние изпяхме 8 песни. И много сме доволни, защото така радушно ни приеха.
Нека само да преведа обаче на всички останали. Okay, so,
и тази песен също беше включена в програмата.
Да, okay. The song that Ivanka is going to perform is called White Silence. It is actually it is sung by Boris Karadimchev, which is one of the most famous Bulgarian composers, and was in the past performed originally by one of our very famous singers called Georgi Minchev, who died few decades earlier, actually. This song is actually dedicated to the love, to the sea, and so on and so on. Actually, Ivanka shared that she's just coming from a festival in one of the Bulgarian cities called Vratsa, and she had a performance with her trio over there. So this song was performed over there as well. So it is a song that is quite beloved in Bulgaria, quite famous actually. So I suppose that you will like it a lot. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Pari, could you please put me back to the channel? Ivanka, след малко. Okay? Shall Ivanka start?
Късен гларус над нас прелетя, бързи спомени в мрака пропуснаха и подирихме пак.
Ivanka, go
намерихме само една тишина. Пише тихо в нашите сърца, пише тихо в очите притворени и стояхме с тъжни лица и се вслушвахме в спор. Чувахме само една тишина. Нощта птица как лети. Нощта тихо тъгувахме и ти. Над морето изгрява деня и блестят върховете на мачтите. Кораб дига отново платно, да отплува за свят. Платната велена тишина пак лети. Нощта тихо тъгувахме и ти. Над морето изгрява деня и блестят върховете на мачтите. Кораб дига отново платно, да отплува за свят. Платната велена тишина.
Thank you very much. And thank you for always coming and singing. We all know that you have a very great voice. So thanks for sharing this song again together with us tonight. And we're looking forward to the next session. Thank you, Ivanka. All right. And now we want to take the first tour. We want to go to Vannes in France with Gerhard. Gerhard will share a little bit about the trip he took with the French Conversation Group. The French Conversation Group, he will also just shortly say a little bit about it, meets every 2 weeks to talk in French. So they meet a lot online. They knew each other online. And then from this, there was the possibility to meet in person, to get to know each other.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to make some general remarks concerning this slogan, Voyage educates, which I really doubt. Traveling does not necessarily educate. Nowadays, tourism as a modern form of mass traveling is neither interested in meeting people nor interested in the culture of the country they're going to visit. Complaints, as we lately heard from the people of Mallorca, Barcelona, Paris, and of course Venice, show that tourism steals residential properties. There is an influence of mass tourism which destroys cities and countrysides. Tourism leaves garbage behind even at the hillside of the world's highest mountain, the Mount Everest. The majority of tourists visit the sightseeing places which one have to visit. They take selfies to document that they have been there. Then they rush to the next sightseeing. There is no time to communicate with people living there. Very often tourists have neither interest nor do they have the necessary language knowledge to talk to natives. However, language is the precondition to approach an unknown culture, to get confident or familiar with other cultures. Language can be learned while every age. There is no limit to start learning a foreign language, no doubt. Learning is a life-lasting and time-consuming challenge, but the cordial response you gain when you speak in the language of the host country is your real profit. Our group, French Conversation, meets bi-weekly, Monday afternoon for around 90 minutes. We discuss current affairs, we read and discuss literature, We look at extracts from French TV. We discuss European issues, political ones as well as cultural ones. The only precondition to participate is to command French so far that you can express yourself and that you can understand and that it can be understood. Accurate French is not really asked for. We put stress on that our participants speak in order to activate their existing passive language knowledge. Hence, their ability to communicate in French will improve. Participating means learning by doing. Well, I regard our activity as part of getting to know more about our French neighbors and their issues. The linguistic difference between German, English, Romanian, and all other language corresponds a difference of thinking. I do not believe that it is important to identify what we have in common. It is much more important to look at the differences. To reach a fruitful level of understanding, to grow together, means firstly to identify, secondly to respect these differences. Moreover, to respect such differences means to respect their culture and gain a new point of view on your own culture. Now I'll show you a little map where to show you where we have been in France. And I start with a map of France, and you can see, probably you know, everybody knows Paris, which is around here. And the place we have traveled to is around here. So this is roundabout from my hometown, close to Frankfurt. It's roundabout 1,000 kilometers. So now I'll try, where's the next one? And now a more particular point of view, exactly we have traveled to Vannes, which is here. And one is with the Gulf of Morbihan. Morbihan is Breton, and Breton means it's our own language. It's not French. And it's a Gaelic language. And the Gulf from Morbihan means in the Gaelic language, small sea. The most Nantes is very popular, very well known. And Paris is from Vannes, it's around 500 kilometers. Now I'm going to show you our group consisting of English, French, German, and Romanian participants. Okay, what you see in behind the group here, these stones were graves, what we call in archaeology a tumulus, which is a grave which is around which is dated in around 5,000 before Christ. But you find these tumulus all over Europe and in North Africa as well. But particularly here in, okay, this is Karnak, which is a place, a town, a small village which we visited as well. And you see here these what we call menhir. I'm sure everybody knows Asterix, and this is probably why you know what these stones are made for. So we have round about 24,000 of these stones, and they are in 3 lines, but no one knows what the sense of this construction was. Now, can you see the new screen? Yes. This is I took from a movie because I have no drone to photograph. This is only to give you an impression how it looks like. Nowadays, it's strictly forbidden to enter this area, but it's quite interesting to see that. So here, what you see here is a so-called tumulus, which is a hill here. And inside this hill, there is a grave as well, 5,000 before Christ. And this is on a small island, because the Gulf of Morbihan consists of at least 660 little islands. And on one of these islands, you find prehistorical monuments, and this is one of these prehistorical monuments, which we have visited, and you can go inside you can go inside the grave, which is here, which is the way in, and there it's completely dark, and only five or six people at once may enter this grave. Okay, now we have a dinner, and this dinner is inside a boat, inside a vessel, and that was nice, yes, because it's a new experience to have dinner inside a vessel. This is another trip we made. We made this trip to Saline. Saline is where they dry water to gain salt. So this makes tired, because listening all day long is really tired. We had beautiful weather because even in Brittany we had a lot of sunshine, which is not normal. It rains more, or it rains often there. So this is the castle of Susino, which we visited. And of course, French is very famous for its castles. This is inside the castle, which is prepared for tourism, of course. And this is the beach. It was windy, well, one could take a bath, but not necessary. For me, it was too cold. This is inside one. It is a group of English tourists, which was a dancing group who danced there just because they wanted to. It was not planned, nothing like that. So this is part as well of one, a very nice and modern hotel. This is impression from the Gulf of Morbihan, where we of course travel by ship. This is quite interesting because what you see here on this very particular boat are oysters, because the Gulf of Morbihan, they have oyster farms, and they transport these oysters with these very particular boats, and they can only when there is no flood, when the water is down, because the difference between flood and low water is up to 9 meters. So again, atmosphere. Of course, there are a lot of sailing boats because there are ships. Yes, and this is already the last day. We were invited by Marie-Noël in her house, in the house of her son. And that was already the last day because we spent there 5 days together. And this is Koka saying goodbye to everybody. So that was our small trip there. And some information about Brittany, which we prepared, of course. Before we traveled, we prepared history and culture of Brittany. It is challenging, and it tells us a lot about Europe. Cultural tensions between French and Britons still exist in the background, invisible for tourists. The history of Brittany started in the 5th millennium before Christ. Monuments and traces of this era can still be visited, but must be understood and well interpreted. Brittany still has its own language, their own cultural tradition. In France, there are many languages. I'm not talking about dialects, as the Basque, the Alemannic, and the Occitan. The Breton is a proper Celtic language related to the Gaelic spoken on the Hebrides and in Ireland. So our journey took place in June. Everybody, almost, some could not manage to participate, decided independently how to travel, and everybody booked his hotel. Thanks to the wonderful support of Marie-Noël and Marie-Christine, both living in, respectively, close to Vannes in the Morbihan, everybody managed his challenge well. Marie-Noël and Marie-Christine also developed a program with many interesting steps, such as the visit of prehistorical places, oyster culture, salt refinery, the Castle Susino, and the Atlantic coast. We crossed the Gulf of Morbihan by vessel. The stops will be shown in the following slideshow I already showed you. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Gerhard. It's very nice to see that you had that you took the chance to not just only stay online, but to meet each other. Very glad that this happened.
Yes, but I think this is a kind of precondition. You know, when you travel if I traveled, for example, to Lisboa, I don't know everybody. I don't know anybody there. So how to get in contact with the people? I speak neither Portuguese, and I do not count on that they speak English or German. So you have to be informed first. And I think this Zoom activity, our Zoom activity, was a good precondition to meet each other straight there. Maybe next time in Ulm, or I don't know where. But we are still in contact, and we still participate, and we are still our meetings are still alive.
Yes, so yeah, you're right, and that's really great. And also that the point you mentioned about really taking the time to get to know where you go.
Yes.
Especially when you don't know anyone. If you have an all-inclusive vacation and you never leave the hotel, of course, you will not meet anyone local. You will not have the possibility to really get to know the area you were traveling to. But this is something we will have the chance later on in discussion to discuss a little more. But thank you very much for the impression of your trip. I'm not sure if someone else is here who was.
Yes, Crystal is there. I have seen her in the background.
I have seen her as well, but I don't see her anymore. So, but maybe maybe there's a technical problem. Maybe if she comes back later, she can comment a little bit. Otherwise,
oh, I forgot. Iliana was with us as well.
Hi, Iliana.
Hi, Iliana.
What did you learn from your trip about France? Just 2 sentences.
And your micro, and open your micro, Iliana.
What impressions did you get from France, from Vannes?
For me, it's not the first trip in France, but it's the first trip in this area. And me and Coca visited instead in first the north of the Britain, Saint-Malo and Dinan and Dinard, et puis et après visited Vannes and Golfe-Morbihan and Carnac and Mehir and all le château de Sucinon. Et il est une région très différente. Il avait l'identité breton, la langue est français, mais tous il est différent from the rest of the France.
See, this is the disadvantage of 2 languages, because you must be very highly concentrated not to confuse French and English.
Okay.
So, and no, it's okay, Iliana, because I think, you know, these pictures from Brittany are very close connected with our language, with French. This is the same with me. Whenever I start talking about Brittany, it's all French words which come into my mind.
When I remember our trip, I try to speak in French, not in English.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh well.
It was an amazing trip, and very nice people, a nice group, and very good hostess. Marie-Noël and Marie-Christine.
So thank you for your input and for your presentation.
Just one final remark. If anybody from this group is interested, want to know something about France, you can contact me.
Yes.
By mail or whatever. It's okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You can write us if you have questions and we can get you in contact with Gerhard. Thank you very much. So now we will go to Katharina. She's from Odessa and she's living in Ulm at the moment, and she will share a song with us. Maybe say us a few words about the song and then you can start to sing.
So our theme today is traveling, and traveling by sea can be a unique and adventurous experience, offering a different perspective on the world compared to air or land travel. Traveling by ship in the past was a crucial part of human history and played a major role in exploration, trade, and migration, and was vastly different from modern sea travel, being more perilous and slower, but also foundational in shaping cultures and global connections. And so I will sing this song about sea travel. Попереду тільки море і мандрівки вдалині. Від свіжих хвиля грає, але знаєм я і ти, хто нічого не боїться, завжди дійде до мети. Коли ми знов повернемось до рідних берегів, то друзів привітаємо, забудем ворогів. Тоді полються ріками і пісня, і вино, а всі невзгоди й прикрощі нехай йдуть на дно. Та не забудемо ніколи, як прийняли ясні зорі, як солоні хвилі моря нас донзили нас. Та не забудемо ніколи, як прийняли ясні зорі, як солоні хвилі моря нас носили по світах. На нашій шхуні все гаразд, компас не збреше нам, на карті світу після нас не буде білих п'ям. Ми обійдемо цілий світ і у чужих краях, де ми були, замайорить наш синьо-жовтий стяг. Коли ми знов повернемось до рідних берегів, то друзів привітаємо, забудем ворогів. Тоді полються ріками і пісня, і віно, а всі невзгоди й прикрощі нехай йдуть на дно. Та не забудемо ніколи, як бриніли ясні зорі, як солоні хвилі моря нас носили по світах. Не забудемо ніколи, як бриніли ясні зорі, як солоні хвилі моря нас носили по світах. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katharina. Oh, very nice song choice as well. I hope you have, I don't know, do you have a trip planned?
Yes, I would like to visit France again, and perhaps also Greece.
Ah, yes.
I read a lot about Greek culture and Greek myths, and I would like to see this unique country.
So you can talk, you can get in contact with Gerhard. He already proposed to be a guide for France if someone wants to travel.
Yes, please don't hesitate.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Katharina, for joining us and for sharing this song with us. Thanks. So now we will take another trip. We will take a trip with Elena from Cluj-Napoca in Romania. Elena, share your trip with us.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Oh, yes. I entitle my presentation, Discover some Romania's beautiful landscapes, starting from Cluj-Napoca to Southern Carpathians and Apuseni Mountains. Here I describe something about traditional travels and non-conventional travel. Traveling is an important way to connect with others around the world. Choosing connection through travel is a great bonding experience with friends, like there in France. You met together, and it's a very, very nice trip. I like to be there, but I don't know French, not at all. Lately, after several years of going on traditional trips organized by travel agencies in large groups and in very crowded tourist places, I changed my options and looked for unconventional trips, which allow me to make direct contact with the inhabitants of the visited area and get to know their customs and traditions. We experience it in person in a better way of the new cultures, traditions, inhabitants, and food. There are many ways travel connecting us. Today, I'll give you 3 different examples of the many trips I've taken this year. First is guided tour, culture intertwines with nature in Cluj-Napoca Botanical Garden, here connecting plants lovers. Another trip, the land Oltenia under the mountain, connecting here nature lovers. And the thematic trail, the path of the partisans from Apuseni Mountains, connecting here history and democracy lovers. This is a guided tour in a botanical garden. In this free guided tour organized by the Botanical Garden on October the 1st by the occasion of International Seniors Day, a lady presented the garden from a different perspective, that of culture. She described us artifacts from the period Roman Empire, and many statues there are here, and their history, how they came to be placed here. Here, for example, this is an artifact, is like what say Gerhard, is a tumulus, like a tumulus from a Roman period. A botanical garden in Cluj is famous for its very large number of plant varieties, over 10,000, and cooperates with many botanical gardens abroad in the exchange of seeds, including the botanical garden in Ulm. I asked the lady, and she said she is working with botanical garden from Ulm. Now I'll say you something about the land Oltenia under the mountain. On this trip, I went with friends from my hiking group and stayed in a villa. This is the villa. In a village at the foothills of mountains. Here we also benefited from the pleasant company of a kitty called Botoshel. In English means shoes, white shoes. Here we visited Buila Vânturărița National Park, which is going to become a UNESCO geopark under the name Oltenia under the mountain. This area is also known for pottery at Horezu ceramics, being inscribed in the UNESCO Intangible Heritage List. Here, as the pottery exhibition from Horezu was closed when we arrived there, we could still see the clay pots arranged according to the craftsmen who created them on the large windows of the building. You can see how we were looking to see. Here, there are a lot of monasteries. Arnota Bistrița. Bistrița is painted by Gheorghe Tătărescu, a famous Romanian painter. In my opinion, it is a monastery exhibition. This is inside painted, all is painted by this painter. Here is a church under a stone, and this is a kind of picture of this painter, famous painter. At Pătrunsa, in English meaning penetrating, a monastery situated at the top of the mountain, which can only be reached only on foot over a distance of 7 kilometers or by donkeys. We were impressed by the way the firewood is stored for winter. You can see this clay are very interesting, are protected by water. Also, we were impressed here in this village where we were hosted, that in the yard of each villager, there was, besides the house, a barn with animals, which above have a hay loft, where the hay, the basic food for cows, sheep, goats, is stored in good conditions. Also here, in old times, the hostile attacks of the barbars coming from across the Danube or of the outlaws coming down from the woods stopped in the strong walls of the fortified rich men houses named kule. This is a kula, and here you can see is a hole in the wall for putting the gun and to shut the barbars. Another kind of trip is a thematic trail, the path of the partisans from Apuseni Mountains. History and democracy brought us together, connecting through a recent thematic travel, more exactly just now in 5 of October, at the inauguration of the thematic memorial trail, The Way of the Partisans in Apuseni, Sunset in English, a tribute to the anti-communist struggle in Apuseni Mountains, part of the Occidental Carpathians in Transylvania. The Apuseni Partisan Trail is a memorial thematic trail, being the first of its kind in Romania, and became part of the Eco Museum of Moților, the name of people living in this area, mountains people in English. It is in the form of a 10 kilometers circuit and is dotted with 9 stops with panels that capture the story of the Schussmann group, and these are partisans, and the mountains people who resisted the communist dictatorship. As part of the inauguration event, a hike of medium difficulty took place, attended by lovers of history and democracy. The trail passes through places of remembrance where partisans fought and died. The event was also attended by Her Royal Highness Princess Sofia, great-great-granddaughter of the King Ferdinand of Romania. In 1925, Theodor Schussmann, later the leader of the partisan group in Apuseni Mountains, was received in audience as a representative of the Mountains people by King Ferdinand. After this meeting, the villages of the Apuseni were to be provided with forests and grasslands. The lovers of history and democracy together on thematic trail in a breathtaking landscape and wonderful weather. On the trail, we find panels with stories of partisans. Each panel have a name like this: the beginning and the end, the Savior Mountain, the Faithful Tree, the Highlanders, the Communists, Faray Valley, the Protective Cave, the Hut of Freedom, the Reckoning, the Sacrifice. The Partisans Trail even has digital support, interactive GPS map. This map that can be also be used for not getting lost in the dense forest in areas where there is no internet signal by downloading the application specially created for this trail. And also we had audio illustrations for each stop, which are made by actors and can be activated by QR code. You can listen the story. Also audio. The route started here from Troița, named Troița. Along the way, we saw beautiful nature along the trail. Forest with tall and straight firs and spruce. We can see what straight are they. Caves and very deep limestone holes. You must be attentive not to step inside to break your leg. Here you can see the shelter hut. This is a reconstitution of mountain shelter, the one used by members of partisans in 1951. It's very interesting, yes. And now, if you want to know where to plan a trip, you can see more details through Vima platform by accessing some of the interest group created here, where you can find descriptions of various places to be visited. These interest group are describing sites of favorite places in Europe, discovering the Danube countries by camper van, discovering the diversity of the Danube countries digitally, everything about the Danube, nature near us, what nature means to us, travels. Important, if you want, each year we intend to collect on topics of interest for each interesting group what you wrote on Vima platform, and we'll put them in an ebook. In conclusion, internet is full of links of places of interest. Often there are the travelers who share their experiences, but what gives authentic information about a place are individual pictures and descriptions of those people who live that unique place. You can see this on Vima platform. By interviewing the experiences of residents and travelers, it intends to give you the opportunity to know which places should not be missed and create a collection of as many places as destinations in Europe as possible. Residents and travelers can get in touch here and combine their impressions. Some places are already listed also on the map created from Danube Discover Tours through Europe on this link. Here you can find further information about places. Thanks for your attention, and I conclude my presentation with an invitation in the land of travels on the Vima platform, an open door for all. I opened you the door. Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much, Elena, and thank you for opening the door. And we will go through that door now together. But first, I want to see if someone has questions or remarks about the presentation, about what Elena showed.
Elena, is it possible to show not the last picture of your presentation, the last one, the third from with the groups, because the groups are interesting.
Which group?
All groups with different.
The name of the groups on Vima.
Yes.
Maybe we will just then go on Vima, and Elena, you can show the group.
Yeah.
Interest group, yes. To share Vima platform.
Da.
We want to just show you how or what possibilities are there on Vima to plan a trip. So Elena will just show as an example one of the interest groups, and we invite you to have a look at Vima yourself.
One moment to enter again, to share the screen.
And also together with Tomislav.
Here, you want to see, please repeat, Emilia, what do you want to see?
Show us this group for travelers.
Yes,
there are more groups. For example,
as an example, maybe the one from Carmen with the camper van, because they're
okay, Carmen.
Tips, Carmen, and
Here is this is a group of Carmen. Yes, here she wrote to read or not. Here Carmen asked us. They visited a lot of countries through the Danube Networks. But they want to visit friends in the various Danube countries next spring. And she asked us to communicate her some tips about places in our countries. Yes, and she received a lot of answers. And
you can show the Bulgarian.
Yes, Bulgarian is the first. Have a lot, a lot of contributions. They said, if now my Vima Danube is on English, but if you don't know English, you can choose from here. Can you see? There are a lot of languages: English, German, Romanian, Ukrainian, Bulgarian, Serbian, Spanish, French, Slovenian, Italian, Slovakian, Croatian, and Polish. Are a lot of languages here. And you can put, for example, I'll put on German because there are more from Germany. I put on German, and I must wait. Yes. Here is also in English, but to have in German, I press the globe and I'll take only this or all, but I take only this. And no, again. Yes, now it's in German. Yes, here is in English, but if I put it on, original, and now to put all text, we have here in German and here also in German. Yes. And here to read or not, something from here.
We can, so this is an interest group where you can gather information, but you can also, Tomislav, Elena, maybe you can show the search and offer. If you have a concrete question,
yes,
search and offer about planning a trip.
Yes.
Can you search and offer? And Elena and Tomislav will just shortly show you how to do it or what, as an example, could be put in.
First of all, Gerhard said, if we are interested to know more about France, to ask him. But asking him here, you can enter on Vima platform and at this search offer, and here is a search here. I make a request. For example, what I want, Serbia, type, wanted, categories is country and travel, and what happened? Oof. Disappeared my.
Go on cancel.
I don't know what happened. Oof.
Go on cancel on the right. I think you came on making a file, opening a file.
Yes, I don't know what happened. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It's my mistake. Yes, and here I'll say the Vima platform is in English, but suppose I don't know English, I'll write in Romanian. Oh, I must write again. Oof. Out. Category. is another order here. Yes. Yes. Okay. And here I write, eu intenționez, I intend that next spring to go in Serbia. Can somebody can give me some details about the best nice places in which we have a lot of nature. And if I having some pictures, I can put here pictures, but I have no pictures. And I save. And I send the text. And somebody will receive a notice by mail, and I'm waiting the answer. Now I stop my share in order to share the screen, Tomislav.
Tomislav, we can't hear you.
Yes. He
Maybe you can
changed
comment.
in English.
So, because I don't know Romanian, I translate on the globe what Elena wrote to me, what she's searching for. So, if I click the view, here, I can reply to her needs and what she's asking for. So, I also write in Serbian. I write about the city of Vršac because she didn't say which city she will visit, so I will suggest to visit Vršac hill. And by the click on this, she will receive my answer. So now I will stop the share the screen so Elena can show you where she will receive my answer.
Yes. I share my screen. And I'll show my my mail. Can you see my mail?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I received here no reply message. Is in Romania, and I enter on this to see what Tomislav answered to me. And here He answered me, but it's in his language, and I'll put in English to see everybody. Yes. Yes. And now I'll change in English. If you visit Versailles, go to the hill on which there is a castle from the 15th century. And I'll give him an answer. Thank you. Oh. Yes. And now I'm stop my sharing in order to enter Tomislav.
But I think we can imagine now how it works, because I have to look at the time as well. So now you have seen how you can share on Vima a question, a request, and get also some ideas about your next trip. You can use it, of course, not only for planning your trip, but Vima is a great opportunity because we don't have to speak the same language. We can just talk in our language and then translate it. And I can get tips if I go to Cluj or to Versailles. And we really invite you to try Vima. So thank you very much, Elena, again for the presentation, and Tomislav as well for showing the opportunity we have on Vima. I would now like to invite Marina Vashovka from Radilovo in Bulgaria. She is a new participant, so let's welcome her and invite her to sing her song in English, Dragana Sitting in a Garden. So, welcome, and the floor is yours. You can sing.
Dragana sedi v gradina, mome dragano, dragano, gradina pod bjel trendafil, mome dragano, dragano, na trendafila slaveče, mome dragano, dragano, Slaveče pe govori, mome dragano, dragano, ja pejda se nadpjavame, mome dragano, dragano, ako li me ti nadpeš, mome dragano, dragano, Крилцата ми да отрежеш, моме драгано, драгано, ако ли те аз надпея, моме драгано, драгано, косата ти ще отрежа, моме драгано, драгано, Пяли са и надпявали, моме драгано, драгано, драгана надпя славея, моме драгано, драгано, славе си я жално моли, моме драгано, драгано, Моля ти се, малка моме драгано, драгано, не ми режи дясно крилце, моме драгано, драгано, че си имам дребни пилци, моме драгано, драгано.
Thank you
Тази
very much.
песен е точно от нашото село, а пък аз от 45 години събирам стари песни и от 20 години съм ръководител на групата за стари песни. А тази песен за първи път е изпята през 1953 година в София на първия фолклорен фестивал.
Okay, нека да преведа малко. Okay, so Marena said that actually this is a folk song, and for 40 years she's actually collecting folk songs. This particular song is from her village Radilovo in Bulgaria, and she also said that for 25 years, actually, she's leading a group of people who actually sing folklore songs and collect folklore songs. Да, извинявай, давай нататък.
И съм облякана с автентична носия от нашето село на повече от 100 години.
Actually, at the moment, she's wearing clothes that are more 100 years old, and these clothes are very typical for her village.
Да. Целият костюм е ръчно такан на стан.
Actually, these clothes were made by hands and are pretty old.
Да.
Okay.
If so, I noticed today because we have the same word for garden in Bulgarian and Romanian, gradina.
Елена казва тук, че фактически е забелязала, че българи и румънци имат една и съща дума за градина, което и на румънски е градина.
Да. Така. Друго.
It's almost near English, garden, from градина.
И е почти същото, като на английски, нали, градина. И така. Any other questions? Do you have any other questions or any comments that I can pass to Marena?
Are there any questions? Any comments? I just want to say thank you very much, and I'm also very impressed that you have your typical costume on, which I think it's always interesting to see that every village has their own way of clothes, and which expresses also something interesting as well. And so thank you very much, and we hope to see you again in another session.
Много благодаря за участието тази вечер. Марина каза, че е изключително впечатлена от това, че носите тези дрехи и се надява също така също да участвате и някой друг път също с някоя хубава песен.
Добре. Ще участвам. Има доста песни. Събрали сме над 200 песни. Не знаем.
So Marena said that they have collected more than 200 songs, so it would be a pleasure for her to participate with some other song.
Yes, we would love to. Thank you.
Okay. Благодаря много, Марена.
И ние ви благодарим.
But I would just shortly take 5 minutes to hear from you a little bit about what is important for you when you travel, and how do you think, what should we do if we travel? What do you do to make your travels maybe more sustainable or good for, you know, the land you travel to and the people who live there, because it's not always the best conditions. Who wants to comment?
So, can I say something? Well,
Yes.
Carmen is on the train to Budapest, and she is very. The train is late, and she will come. And she comes to Budapest in 1 o'clock, maybe. But I say thank you very much for this interesting impressions from the trips Carmen wrote in Weimar and other places that we will go next year in the spring to different places in along the Danube, and we have our opportunities to traveling is always to meet people and not only interesting places. We want to meet interesting people in these places, and so we learn many things about these countries and societies and opportunities. And so I will say thank you very much. If you get many tips and things in Weimar, so we will see, and we try to visit. It's not possible to visit all, but we try to visit many places, and in these places many people. So thank you very much. Many greetings from Carmen. She has no good internet in the train, so she cannot stay with us this evening. But many greetings. I hear her at the telephone. So okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bertram. And
could I say something?
we hope that Carmen will arrive not too late. Hope that it will. Rosemarie wants to say something.
Yeah. Hello, here I'm Rosemarie from Austria. One thing I want to say that Elena Muste had a wonderful presentation, and I have a family who is really keen on doing good climate things. And so when they go on travels, they want to go by train and by bus, not by plane. And I think that most of this time they had been in Cornwall, and I think it would be very nice if they would go to your places. And so I will stay in contact with you, and I will give this family, the girls are in the 20s, and there are 6 persons who are always traveling for 3 weeks in summer. So I want to have very good contact to you, Elena. Yes, and I want to invite you to Graz, where I come from, yeah. And I really invite you, yes, come and you could stay in my apartment. Thanks very much. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rosemarie. Thanks for the offer, Elena. You stay in contact.
Okay.
Gerhard.
Yes, it might be surprising, but I don't like traveling. I found it uncomfortable. And my alternative is reading literature. When you read literature about countries, you get so much to know about these countries. And so I can travel with my books all over the world without any air pollution. But anyhow, I have to travel because sometimes my wife is pushing me hard. And so we compromise. Usually we travel to France or to Austria or inside Germany, but I don't like this to travel too far. Yes, once I traveled to Italy as well, but I don't like the situation nowadays, the political situation in Italy. So I prefer France, which is for me much more interesting. Also political, from the political point of view, and from the cultural point of view. And I brush up my French.
Thanks, Gerhard. Yeah, that's very that's a good opportunity if you also know the language and if you can then practice it when you go to a country. Then you can actually talk to the people there.
Exactly. I once a year for 1 week I travel to Rouen on Normandy, where I attend a school for the last 12 years, and I have a family which I call this is my family in France, and they speak French only, and I travel alone because I don't want to translate, because I really admire our translators, but I hate translating.
Yes, I can understand.
I would like to ask Gerhard,
Emily, yes.
Maybe he thinks that now the political situation in France is very dangerous for travel.
No, I don't think so. You see, understanding the French culture, it's a
No
culture.
culture. I think that political situation, strikes on the
I'm
street.
talking about political culture.
Is it dangerous for travelers?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, thank you. I would like to say I'm traveling with pleasure to all continents if I have got friends there. Depends on friends.
Yeah, that's right. And this is also why it's a good opportunity to use Vima, because there are actually people there who live in this country who most of them are from our network. So that you can talk to these people, that you can get information from them on Vima, and knowing, okay, this is someone who lives there who can give you accurate information and maybe even invite you to a dinner when you're there and show you the city, which is also a great opportunity to visit.
I offer all of you to take ships from Vienna. They are going to Ruse. There are excursions to Danube Delta in Romania and Varna and Veliko Tarnovo, and I will organize dinner with pleasure for all of you.
Yes, we will make a big trip. Everybody will go to Ruse in the end. This will be our last stop. Thanks, Emily. So, thank you very much. If there are there any other comments? I think we will then close the session with a last point. The last on the program, I will give you the link to have a look, and we will show it in the next session, because I want to take the time to really have a look at the video. I just don't want to show it quickly now. So we will finish with Vojislav from Belgrade in Serbia. He wants to recite poem, The Lorelei, by Heinrich Heine, which is a German poet and is a very known a poem. I still remember that my mother, she's from France, and she still knows it by heart because she had to learn it in school. It's from 1824, and Vojislav wants to recite the poem tonight to you in Serbian. So here the poem Lorelei by Vojislav.
Thank you. Heinrich Heine, Lorelei. Ja ne znam šta treba da znači, te tako tugujem. O nekoj starinskoj priči jednako umujem. Tu mirno protiče Rajna, hladna je, hvata se mrak, na vrhu brega igra poslednji sunčev zrak. A na tom brdu se vidi lepote devojke Stas, ona sva u zlatu blista i zlatnu češlja vlas. Sa zlatnim češljem i peva još u sto, a glas od pesme zvuči silno i čudesno. Lađara u malom čunu njen divlji zanosi ton, na stene ne gleda dole, već gore gleda on. I sad lađaru i čamcu ja mislim da je kraj, a sve to sa svojom pesmom učini Lorelei. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vojislav. So Vojislav also prepared a little information. I will just tell you a little more about the poem. It's a ballad, and it's a short narrative poem created from a related lyric epic poem. In the poem, we see sadness, and it ends in the tragic fate of Thessalia. Also, in the hidden meaning is the mythical ancient story about the mermaid who entered the German tradition. The siren seduced sailors with her singing as they passed through dangerous places in order to victims. The romantic thing about this part is that Lorelei, although the idea of beauty is lonely and alone, sitting on a rock and singing. Lorelei is the all-time ideal of enchanting beauty. So I will now also read it in German, so you can hear how it's in the original. Ich weiß nicht, was soll es bedeuten, dass ich so traurig bin. Ein Märchen aus alten Zeiten, das kommt mir nicht aus dem Sinn. Die Luft ist kühl und es dunkelt, und ruhig fließt der Rhein. Der Gipfel des Berges funkelt im Abendsonnenschein. Die schönste Jungfrau sitzet dort oben wunderbar. Ihr goldnes Geschmeide blitzet, sie kämmt ihr goldenes Haar. Sie kämmt es mit goldenem Kamme und singt ein Lied dabei. Das hat eine wundersame, gewaltige Melodie. Den Schiffer im kleinen Schiffe ergreift es mit wildem Weh. Er schaut nicht die Felsenriffe, er schaut nur hinauf in die Höhe. Ich glaub, die Wellen verschwingen am Ende Schiffers und Kahn. Und das hat mit ihrem Singen die Lorelei getan. So, with this, I want to close the session. And I say again, thank you, Vojislav, for the translation and for reciting the poem in Serbian. It's always interesting to hear that in different languages. And I want to say thank you a lot for staying with us, even over the time. This means always a lot that you keep with us until the end of the program. Thank you for the translators, and thank you for everybody who contributed tonight, and as well to Paris, of course, for the technical moderation. We will invite you shortly via mail to our next session on the 22nd. This will be a Tuesday, but we will be at 6:30, and we hope you can make it. We will send you all the information via mail. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.